And moving on to pick number 15, the 6-time Super Bowl champions, the New England Patriots. I mean, I can't complain.
No, you can't. Even we've already mentioned now for the past two teams that of the first 4 or 5 picks that these guys could come in and start instantly. And maybe besides Mac Jones, but I think I
Mhm.
really like the Mac Jones pick. But I love the Barmore pick. I really love the Ronnie Perkins pick. I remember
Mhm.
watching it at the end of day two, and the Falcons they had the third pick of round four just to start at day three, and we needed an edge rusher, and I see like Ronnie Perkins is still there. Ronnie Perkins is still there, and then
Yeah.
when I saw the Patriots had one of the compensatory picks, I was like, nope, he's not making it. He's not
Yeah.
making it. And they ended up
Well,
picking him, and that to me, I mean, is an absolute steal at the end of the
mhm.
third round, pick
Yeah.
96.
But so I think, to me, Mac Jones can play if you need him to, but I think it's probably smart to sit him.
Yeah,
Uh, and then Christian Barmore and Ronnie Perkins will come in, and I think they'll have roles pretty quickly. They
hmm
did do a lot to address the edge rushing position in free agency. I mean, bringing in Matt Judon, Kyle Van Noy,
yeah,
Dante Hightower's coming back. So for me, that position is pretty loaded. But I think Ronnie Perkins could create a role on third downs
hmm
where he can come in and be kind of a pass rushing specialist. But Ramondre Stevenson is a guy that I really like. His pro comparison was LeGarrette Blount. And so, I mean, if he can be what LeGarrette Blount was for the. Sorry, my dog is going in the
No, you're
background.
good. You're good.
But if he can be what LeGarrette Blount was for the Patriots, that would be fantastic. That would bring back that power run game. And with a revitalized offensive line that was kind of injured last year, I think that run game is going to do a lot better. And then Cameron McGrone was a guy that coming into this year was a second to third round pick, but then he tore his ACL. And so I think that's well worth the risk in round 5.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
and then Joshua Bledsoe and William Sherman are guys that they like the physicality of Bledsoe and the athleticism of Sherman, and they'll probably kick him into guard. But and then Trey Nixon is a guy that ran a 4.44 and was a good outside wide receiver for UCF. Nothing spectacular. And that's probably my biggest critique of this draft was the fact that they didn't pick a wide receiver until round 7.
Yeah, but it
And
sounds like though that they got a good one in Trey Nixon here.
it,
If you had to give value at round seven.
for value, yes. And
Mhm.
will he come in and compete for a role? Maybe just because the receiving core is that atrocious. But for me, I think you can scratch the Joshua Bledsoe pick and pick a different wide receiver, and then pick another corner that you like physical traits with in the 7th round. Even Ramondre Stevenson, I feel like you could have picked a wide receiver there. That Tylan Wallace was still on the board.
Yeah,
But that's my biggest critique, and even then, I still like most of the guys that they picked. And I think 2 to 4 of these guys could have an impact getting some snaps come week 1.
hmm
Uh, Especially Christian Barmore and Ronnie Perkins. I don't think any of these guys besides Barmore are going to start week 1, but I think for developmental purposes and being competitive in the future, I think the
yeah.
Patriots knocked it out of the park.
Well,
So,
especially them going back to Ramondre Stevenson, if his comparison was to Legarrette Blunt, that actually be huge for that offense because then if Cam Newton is starting, that opens up the play action if you guys can
mhm.
develop that power run game, and then you guys can it opens up so many more options for Cam
Yeah.
Newton and Josh
And,
McDaniels.
well, even if Mac Jones is back there too, Mac Jones was
Yeah, you can do
I
that
think he
too.
had the highest play action. My Rue is going ham today. Uh, but Mac Jones had one of the highest play action rates of any
Mhm.
college quarterback, and so that's one of the things that I think the Patriots are going to take advantage of is their offensive line being so good and being able to run the ball just down some teams' throats.
Yeah.
That they're going to run play action and then try and throw it over the top with some of their new speedy receivers that they got in free agency. And
Mhm.
so I'm going to give them an A minus just because of the fact that I wish they would have drafted a receiver earlier. But again, I
Yeah.
can't really complain with any of the first 4 to 5 picks, just because I think they got good value, and I think they got people that fit their scheme really well. So,
Yeah.
uh, but
So I would stick with an A actually, just because, and there is merit to what you're saying about not drafting a receiver sooner. And for the picks that they did get and the value that they got for not getting a receiver, I mean, and it is very diverse. You get your defensive tackle, and then you also get your edge rusher as well to pair up. Then you get your quarterback, your running back. You did end up getting a receiver as well. But then, as you mentioned with Cameron McCrone and potential really good value if he can come back healthy from that ACL injury.
yeah,
To me, I just think it is, as typical New England Patriots fashion, a very good, diverse
yeah.
draft with each pick having a lot of quality value coming from them. And so, for me, I think you guys like knocked it out of the park. And so, really, only time will tell, I guess, with Mac Jones. He probably will sit
Yeah.
a year. I feel like this is Cam Newton's last year, unless if he just goes off.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he's got all the opportunity to be successful there now, especially now that OTAs are going on and there's not really any
And that
coronavirus
I have heard good
protocols.
things about Mac Jones through OTAs. But I mean, it's OTAs, it's practice. It's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I've heard some good things and some bad things about him. But again, I think the Patriots set themselves up pretty well for the future.